Aries, in these reports, I usually go into a lot of detail in terms of what's coming up for you astrologically in the month. But before I get into the details, I think what you as Aries are really interested in is how things are progressing and how things are moving forward. And before I look at anything else, I can very confidently tell you that July is going to be a much better month for you in all aspects of your life than May and June were. And the reason I say that is because your ruler, Mars, was in retrograde for a long time during those months, May and June, and that really made things a lot more difficult. Not only that, your ruler is in the sign of Scorpio, which is a water sign, which again doesn't feel very natural to you. But now with your ruler actually moving forward again, despite anything else I may say in this report, things are going to look a lot better and feel a lot more progressive. Okay, so Mars is no longer retrograde. We still have 3 other planets in retrograde, as well as 1 asteroid. Chiron is the asteroid, the wounded healer, and that went retrograde on the 27th of June. I went into more detail about that in my weekly horoscope. Check out the one for the week starting the 27th of June going through until the 3rd of July. I talk a little bit about that Chiron. But the other 3 that are retrograde are Neptune, Pluto, and Saturn. Okay, these are all outer planets. They're all big, heavy influences. So personally, things are going to feel better. Personally, things will feel like they're moving more quickly and they're going your way. I really think May and June were very frustrating for you. That said, the outside world is still somewhat challenging and things are changing massively. There's lots of uncertainty in the air. I mean, we can talk about that politically, in terms of, you know, humanity, the weather, everything is in upheaval at the moment. But you personally will be able to move forward and feel less frustrated, and I think that's really the most important thing here. Now, in June as well, there was a grand cross in the sky, there was a grand trine, big heavy energies. Both of those are over, they're done with, and again, that points to July, your July, Aries, looking a lot better than June did. From the 1st to the 3rd of July, those big major aspect patterns have been replaced by a T-square in your chart, and the first 3 days of July are going to impact you via this energy. So what's happening is that Jupiter opposes Neptune. They're going head to head, the real world, practicality, and the dream. There's been a lot of that going on as well, you know, the vision of what could be and how you can put that in place. And they both combine and they form a triangle with another outer planet in retrograde, which is Saturn. Okay, so dreams versus reality, they combine in the question, how am I going to move forward in life? And as far as you're concerned, I don't think you care so much about that, as long as you know that actually if I do move forward, things will actually go my way. And I am telling you that July is going to be a lot better for you in that sense. The new moon occurs on the 4th of July, and that new moon is in Cancer. Okay. Again, Cancer isn't something that is particularly ideal for you. The only thing that's good about Cancer for you, as far as you're concerned, is that it's a cardinal sign, same way you are. It's about taking charge, taking action. And this new moon for you happens in your 4th house. And what you can get a handle on and what you can get a grip on is the direction you want your family relationships to go. This is a very good day for you to put some intentions in place, to plant some seeds and to decide this is what I want to happen. So have a little think about that, you know, what you want to achieve in your personal relationships, especially when it comes to family. From the 5th of July through until the 7th, the South Node and Neptune, they begin to form a relationship with your 4th house and the energy that's in your 4th house of family, the Sun, the Moon, Venus and Mercury. This is that connection to the past and the future. These are the days when you can really look at what you want to achieve, how you can be of service, how you can make your relationships more harmonious, and really what you can do to make them better. It's like you're going to this design school when it comes to your closest relationships, and there's a nice kind of objectivity available to you at the moment. You're not in it. You're stepping back from it a little bit. You can say, this is what it is and this is what I'd actually like it to be. And you can you're almost like a puppet master, so to speak. You can arrange the scenes and the settings so that they suit you. So it's not manipulation, it's just not getting swept away emotionally, looking at what you've got and what you would like to happen, and you're in between that, the past, the potential future, and you can really shift things in a nice positive way. So you have a lot of control here at the beginning of July. Now, moving forward to the 8th and 9th, the moon is now in Virgo, and it sits together with your Jupiter and your North Node in your 6th house. These 2 days are the best in terms of making changes to your routine, making practical changes, signing contracts, asking for a raise, a promotion, but really organizing things. Virgo is about taking what's there, breaking it down, organizing it, and making sense of it. It's in your 6th house, so these 2 days are the days to cut your commute, to make your work more effective, to organize things, to get rid of the nonsense, the ineffective stuff. And it's also a great time to start sorting out your body, your health. It's a good time to start joining a gym if you want to get back in shape, or to start a better way of eating. It's really about improving the physical, practical things in your life. The moon is in Libra on the 10th of July, and it opposes Chiron, that retrograde Chiron, in your 12th house. Now, the moon is on a soul level what you're experiencing, and you're going to feel very much aligned with the energy of compromise. That Chiron will bring up memories of the past pains. And again, remember, let me just say, for the whole of July, there's that connection with the past and the future. They're almost interlinked, and you're in the middle of them. Okay, but on this day something may come up, and be very careful with the lessons you learn from your past experiences, because you're going to take the side of other people. So let's say when you were a little kid, you did something that hurt another person, okay, but it wasn't really your fault. Children don't have all the information, they're still learning, and you've blamed yourself for that despite the fact. When this comes up, there will be a tendency for you again to go into those feelings of guilt and shame, even though it wasn't your fault. You're not going to see it from your perspective so much. You're going to see it from the perspective of the harm you did to other people. Be very careful of what you accept as true on this day. A T-square happens on the 11th. That again connects the moon in Libra. This time now with Pluto in Capricorn and the Sun in Cancer in your 4th house, okay? Changes to your working life as a result of other people putting pressure on and saying, why don't you do this? So this is the day when you have to stand your ground. This is the day when people might think it's a good idea to transfer you in your job because your performance hasn't been so good, or to put someone else in the position that you deserve, and to really dismiss you a little bit. So these 2 days are very important to stand up for yourself and to make sure that you're not forgotten and that other people aren't preferred. You know, often when we work with other people in like office spaces, or if you're just in a big city like New York or London, it's very easy to become one of the crowd. And these are the 2 days when people will just see you as a number and may not give you what you deserve. So you really need to stand up for yourself to make sure you get what you want. Venus goes into Leo on the 12th, and now the energy shifts, and this is really, really positive when it comes to love and romance. Your romantic life starts to look really good now, okay? Venus is the planet of love and beauty. In Leo, she's her most glamorous, her most extroverted, and you really start to feel great passion and enjoyment and enthusiasm for other people, and this is your spring. This is your Shakespearean love time, okay? Things start to look really, really fiery and passionate. And you know, sometimes you're around people and things are just very flat, and other times something shifts within you and you start to see the potential in other people. This is now that time. You start to think along the lines of, oh, I could see myself in a relationship, and oh, you know, he's really good looking, or she's really good looking. That lasts until the end of the month, and there's a trend now for these personal planets to move from Cancer into Leo. So the shift is going away from family matters, family life, and it's moving forward into fun and romance and sex. On the 13th, the moon conjuncts with Black Moon Lilith, and this is another day of past feelings, past pains, past wounds to become apparent, but to really actually be able to do something with them. You know, earlier in the month, there were reminders of the past and you had to stand your ground. This now is actually a great day for therapy or for letting go of past pains or wounds, or to resolve a relationship that's always been strained and difficult. If you've been estranged from one of your children, it's a good day to pick up the phone and to do that shadow work. That's what this is. And you know, sometimes you have to go into the wound, into the shadow, so you can go into the light again. And this is a day where you can really alter the course of a relationship. Mercury goes into Leo on the 14th. Again, you're much more confident now. You have more self-belief. You're more passionate about things. You also have a great sense of silliness and fun. So as the month goes on, things look even better, okay? You're moving out of this kind of emotional state and things just lighten up a lot. It's like the difference between sitting on the psychiatrist's couch and going to Disneyland. Really, it's a big shift here. There has been a square between Uranus and the Sun for a long time here, since the 9th of July, but it gets really strong on this day. Really, really strong. And the Sun is in Cancer in your 4th again, but Uranus is in your sign of Aries in the 1st house. So this is now great power and a great sense of, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to achieve. And if you get in touch with that, you can really be very passionate and creative today. So this is the best day for creating artwork, just losing yourself in your creative work, and to really, you know, be in the flow of that creative process. Over the next couple of days now, until the 18th of July, from the 16th through to the 18th, the moon makes a journey from Saturn to Pluto. Saturn and Pluto are both at the top of your chart, in the 9th house, in the 10th house, and the moon is very much your personality. And what you'll notice over these couple of days is that you're moving from this place of, this is what my life is, this is what I know to be true, and you really look at it and make a move to change all of that and make alterations in your working life. So think of yourself as, you know, what Inspector Gadget with your little microscope lens, looking at your life and saying, oh, this works, this doesn't work, I'm going to change this, I'm going to alter this. These are the most positive, wonderful days to make changes and to transform your life, so that your passions and your desires make more of an appearance in your day-to-day experience. The full moon occurs on the 19th. That's in Capricorn, and it's right next to that Pluto energy of transformation, of change. So the Cancer sun shines its light onto that Capricorn moon, and usually Capricorn is very serious and it's associated with you know, structure and diligence. But this full moon for you, Aries, is really going to be about, how can I love my work more? How can I transform my work so that it's something that really is aligned with me on a soul level? It's really beautiful. This full moon is going to feel amazing for you. The moon moves into Aquarius around the 20th and 21st, and that then opposes Mercury and Venus, both very personal planets. This is interesting because there's a lot of fun stuff happening in your romantic life. You're being silly, you're being carefree, and you're able to enjoy yourself. You really have access to that sense of enthusiasm and just fun. But the moon in Aquarius is very serious, and you're very studious at the same time, and you're learning things, okay? So the way to learn is not to go sit down in the library in a corner somewhere and to study and to put your head in books. it's to connect with other people and to have fun. You will learn much more from that than you will just explicitly trying to learn something. The 22nd through until the 24th, there's a big spotlight on this last sector of your chart, the 12th house, which is really your neighbor, but also a very difficult energy, because you're all about the new beginnings, the new year, pushing things forward. And now from the 22nd to the 24th, it's all about sharing and letting go of stuff and connecting with your feelings. These are the days when you can be most irritated and most itchy, you know, ready to go, frustrated. Let's get things moving. I want to have fun. I'm a little bit bored. So expect other people to maybe come to you with their problems, for things to become emotionally charged, and expect not to have a lot of patience for it. If you can surround yourself with positive people around this time of the month, you'll have a much better time of it. Don't go into couples therapy around this time of the month. You'll get really annoyed with the whole process. Over the next couple of days now, the moon begins to conjunct Uranus in your first house, and this is much more up your alley, okay? So the 25th, 26th, you feel very much yourself. You feel like the world's your oyster, you can do whatever, and you really have a lot of self-belief and strength. So if I start a business, if I put myself out there and I get things going, it is very likely that those things will be a success. There's loads of fire in the chart today. This is the best day to really solidify your passion and make it happen. I know that's from a song somewhere, but you can really take what you care about and make it a real long-term solid thing in your life. Now on the 27th, the moon actually opposes that black moon Lilith, and this is the day of control. Okay, you want to control the physical, the financial, the real world stuff, and that opposes your desire to control other people on an emotional level, and the work that you've done letting go of past pains, negative emotions. This again is a complicated day for you. Okay, you can go one way or the other. You can either get a real treasure from the emotional work that you've been doing and really find that it fuels you to achieve more things in a practical monetary sense, or you can really become obsessed with your own feelings, with your own resentments, your own desires, and try and control people in this futile effort to matter. The thing that comes to mind is Death in Venice, that book where this old man, he falls in love with this very young person, and rather than realizing it's inappropriate, he starts wearing makeup, and oh, it's just a mess. So there's potential to really not know your arm from your elbow, or whatever the phrase is, and to get really the wrong end of the stick. Be very careful, especially when you start to notice that you're putting your claws into something and really obsessing about it and starting to control it. Similar energy the next day, Mars opposes that moon in the second, and this is all a push and pull between what's going to win here, the emotional obsessiveness or the desire to control physical things, physical manifestations. I think you're going to be much better at the end of the month focusing on your money, on getting your bank balance sorted out, rather than sorting out your relationships. That's better on earlier in the month, okay? So really keep it very, very simple at this end of the month. 29th is a down day. This is like back to May and June, where you can put loads and loads of effort in and you're not going to see a lot of outcome from that. So do yourself a favor, take the day off, have a lot of fun on the 29th of July, and don't expect to get a great return on your efforts and on your work. It's a Friday, so you can kind of, I don't know, maybe have an early day on Friday if you're at work. If you're retired, do something fun. If you're a student, don't put all your hopes on this day. It's going to be challenging. And there's nothing worse than really working your butt off and seeing no returns for it. So try and avoid that. Now, the 30th and the 31st, we've got some friction happening again. And on the 31st particularly, Mercury, the planet of communication, goes into Virgo. So things become less emotional, okay? Things become much more practical. And at the same time, Uranus goes retrograde, okay? So there's less fire, there's less frustration, there's less passion, and it's much more accountancy mode. Let's balance the books. Let's look at the facts. Let's look at what we can actually see. So as you can tell from this month, it is much better than May and June. However, it is still highly emotional. It's very charged, but because your ruler has gone direct, you can actually navigate those emotional currents, and the seesawing effect can be managed very well by putting action in and looking at what you can create. August then, we've got a hint of this, becomes less passionate. There's a continuation of this drive. So we've gone from this real valley, this real low point, and we're moving up now in July, and then we're reaching a kind of plateau here in August and moving on. So things are looking up, things are getting better and better and better. And it's not, you know, a bowl of cherries. As you can see, there is still some work to do in July, but thank goodness it's not the way May and June have been. So that's it for the month. If you'd like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and you can order your reading with me there. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, and I also do live readings on Facebook. So facebook.com/GregoryScott444. Like that and you'll be notified when I'm on live, and then I can pull a card for you or look at things and give you some guidance that way. Have a wonderful July, and I will speak to you soon.